Hey, I'm meteorologist Doug Myers with the latest forecast on this Friday. We continue with the warm weather for 2 more days, today and tomorrow, to begin the weekend. Low to mid 80s yesterday. We'll have more upper 70s and low 80s not only today but tomorrow as well, with some clouds at times. You'll also notice that I do have a lightning bolt there on today's icon. It's a very low risk for rain or thunderstorms. I think we're going to have more sun than any possibility of rain or thunderstorms for the majority of the area. But you'll notice that even though the UV index is fairly low, moderate at 3, still 45 minutes of burn time, but I have both the umbrella and sunglasses checked mark on what you'll need for today. So yeah, you'll need both. Here's what I'm talking about with that decrease in clouds a little bit into the morning hours, giving way to mostly sunny skies around midday, and then potential for clouds to increase, and also the chance that there might be some isolated showers and even some thunderstorms this afternoon as well. Not a great chance. You'll notice how it does dry out by 7, and then starting to increase the risk for pop-up activity as we get into the 9-10 o'clock hour. So be mindful of that if you have any outdoor plans this evening, maybe Friday night football, that there is that potential, especially if you're south of I-70, that showers and thunderstorms could exist. We'll start out sunny skies, but latest computer models are indicating a little bit more cloud cover than expected, so that's why I did increase our cloud coverage from mostly sunny to a mix of sun and clouds for tomorrow. Just keeping an eye on that trend. And we're going to be looking at mainly dry conditions tomorrow. Still a very low chance of a brief shower as a cold front pushes through in the afternoon, but for the most part, it stays dry. We'll talk more about the impacts of that front here in just a second, but let's talk about that rainfall for the majority of it falling tonight. Not a lot. Don't expect a lot. Unless you're along and south of the turnpike, that's where the higher potential for rain will be. Some of our other computer models or other short-term model and the graph up on the top left still doesn't show a whole lot of rain, at least in Topeka and Emporia, but just to the east and south of those areas does indicate at least a little bit more measurable rainfall. European and the GFS, those are a little bit, well, those are a lot lower resolution. Those are our long-range models, and the medium-range model, our NAM, still has a lower resolution than the graph, but a little bit higher than the European and the GFS with the resolution. Why am I saying that? It's because it has a little bit better chance of kind of picking up on what could happen with the higher resolution model data. But there still remain some differences. The only difference is how much rain to expect. But most models agree that the higher potential for rain is along and south of the turnpike. So the further to the northwest you go, chances are very small. I forgot to put in today's outlook, but there is still a marginal risk of today's severe weather with 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. So be aware of that. I still think overall lightning is going to be the primary concern. We're still mild Saturday, but look at the cool down on Sunday. It's finally going to feel like fall. Let's talk more about that cool down on Saturday, because it's still going to be fairly mild. I still think we'll be able to reach our high temperatures at our typical time frame. However, what I'm most concerned about is a little bit quicker drop in temperatures than what we would usually see because of the impacts of that front. 5 p.m., already in the upper 60s in Marysville and Concordia. Everyone, for the most part, should be in the 60s by 7. Low 60s north, mid to upper 60s further down the south, may still be in the low 70s for places like Burlington, Lawrence, and Kansas City. 10 o'clock, now everyone's in the mid to upper 50s. On our way down in the low to mid 40s early Sunday morning. It's our coolest morning we've had in a while. All right, so that's not terrible. We can handle that. What I want to note is the winds. Winds are going to be fine for most of the morning. Do not be fooled by that, because look what happens. Behind the front, once it pushes through, we increase those winds pretty significantly too. By 2 p.m., most of the stronger winds are in north central Kansas. By 4 p.m., the stronger winds are mainly impacting places like Manhattan, Clay Center, Marysville, Concordia, and then we continue to increase those winds for all of northeast Kansas as we get closer to sunset. So by 8 o'clock, most areas have been or are receiving wind gusts between 30 and 40 miles per hour, starting to lessen a little bit in Concordia and in north central Kansas by that time. So be prepared for that. That's why I have windy conditions on Saturday. Lighter winds, wind gusts maybe up to 20 miles per hour Sunday, but no, not too bad at all. We cool down in the upper 60s, a brief warm up Monday before our next cold front comes through dry, with temperatures that will pretty much stay steady in the upper 60s, maybe low 70s for the remainder of the week, and lows generally staying in the mid 40s. I still don't see much in the way of any frost or freezes anytime soon for northeast Kansas. Is there a chance that there could be some isolated upper 30s at times, and not only on Sunday morning, but also for the rest of the month? Yes. But for the most part, the rest of the month, the coolest temperatures for lows are going to be generally in the 40s. So, no surprise we're in the red for our probability of above average temperatures. And we actually do increase a little bit our precipitation opportunities in that 8 to 14 day outlook. Not a lot though, but it's a probability. And we'll continue to keep an eye on that. As of right now, one of our computer models goes to November 1st, which means Halloween is in that computer model. Upper 40s and low 50s by 7 p.m. on Halloween. That's about 10 degrees cooler than what it showed yesterday. That is certainly going to be changing, but I just want to mention it just for fun, to the point where we're going to continue to keep you updated every single day. But know that there could be changes. So that's why if there's all of a sudden a sudden change, like all of a sudden I'm mentioning winds on Saturday and more cloud cover, it can happen within 24, 48 hours. Something can happen that changes the forecast. That's why it's really important you're staying up to date on the forecast every single day. If you're not, do it. Have a great day.